Dad, my sister put a hole in the wall.
You're seeing the problem. A large hole, and there is a crack along the stud. There are also some dents around the broken drywall. This is not an easy fix. The drywall is compromised beyond the baseboard. I certainly do not want to cut the baseboard or interfere with its installation. A journey of home renovation and maintenance. Welcome to Maintaining 18. One step at a time. The first step is to remove the damaged sections. To protect undamaged sections of the wall from being ripped, a score is made. This will be important since the drywall has to be cut to fit the area where the drywall was removed.
It looks so crackly. You have to clean up all that mess.
Before I delved into this project, I did due diligence to figure out what was behind the wall. There are wires as the outlet hints. The location of the studs is important as they will support the replacement section of the drywall. This is not enough for me. The wall needs to be reinforced, and more on this shortly. This is the part that had me worried. I thought to myself, leave it and patch it, but opted to remove it and reinforce the section. Some of the drywall is below the height of the baseboard. The complication. Recall that the baseboard is not to be touched, as this would increase the repair time. And frankly, making the baseboard seamless would be very challenging. Now the walls are open, and an issue with the drywall installation is pronounced. The drywall is not flushed against the studs as it should be. This issue has to be fixed as it interferes with the repair. Also, this could be a contributor as to why the drywall was damaged to this extent. Here, Golden Judge is using the oscillating tool to cut away the screw that is propping the drywall away from the studs. Destination, perfect cut, right ahead. Now that the drywall cut has been tidied, the final part is to smooth the drywall surface with a rasp. To provide support, making the repair stronger than the pre-damaged wall, blocks, which are pieces of wood, are attached to the bottom, middle, and top of the repair area. Backing up a bit, I periodically cleaned up the area. I also ran my finger down the mating surfaces. This is to ensure there are not screws, nails, staples, etc., or other obstructions. You may not always detect these with your eyes. I measured, cut, and dry fitted a piece of drywall. Now, I'm applying some silicone to the mating surface. It seems that there was a drywall pop. People refer to it as like a screw pop or a nail pop. That means the drywall came loose from the stud. I do not want this to happen again. The application of adhesive silicone will help prevent this in the future. Since the drywall was damaged below the baseboard, there will be a gap between the drywall added for the repair and the drywall butted against the baseboard. I am filling this gap with joint compound, and once cured, creates a continuous wall. Golden Judge is using Quick Set joint compound and is not too runny. To this point, I've dealt with the architecture. Now it's time to get something done. Add in the drywall. Fits nicely in place. The drywall has been attached, and it's lovely to have the extra support. Additional screws across the middle, the top. This is fantastic. I'm adding joint compound tape, or mesh tape in this case, and I'll be using the Quick Set, which is why I'm using the mesh tape. What you're not seeing is that the new drywall is about 1/16 of an inch below being flushed with the existing drywall. I will have to build it up, so I'm not worried about it being smooth as yet. I switched to a pre-mixed all-purpose joint compound and applied it liberally to fill between the taped sections and allowed 24 hours for it to dry. If you had asked me a decade ago if I would be doing these repairs, I would have said no, and probably added, I'm not in construction. This is not my first drywall project, and I had to research how to get the job done the first time. I realized the best thing to do is have exposure ahead of time. So I invite you to subscribe to Maintaining 18 and follow my experience maintaining a house. One of your projects may be shown here. I'm smoothing it out a bit. There is another coat that I will add. However, being smooth is becoming very important. I also do not want any low spots. There's going to be a lot of sanding considering that I had the entire wall coated. It took some sanding, quite a bit, to knock down those high spots. Light at an angle, usually from the side, shows up imperfections pretty quickly. There were very few. A little bit of detailed sanding under the window trim, nearby objects, etc. Sanding is a messy process. Using a wet sponge, I'm removing the dust from the wall. It is time to clean up the floor. I will definitely have to protect the floors much better when it comes to painting. I was confident that I could clean up this mess. It was dust and basically heavy dust. If I did not have a Kirby, I would have done things a lot differently. Cleaning up with a shop vac, well, this kind of mess, oh no. It's not a good thing. With the exception of painting, the drywall repair is complete. Here it is, smooth to the touch. Now, the reason why it wasn't painted immediately is because the lid of the paint can does not match the running or the drips on the paint can. We're talking about the paint color, so I'll have to open several paint cans to figure out which is which and mix them, etc, etc. So that is for another video. As always, the day is one.